So you have to go past your fears. You have to. And if you don't, how are you going to connect with other people that understand the value of what you're trying to do and your hard work and your effort?
We open our own doors for ourselves. Like, we have to take the action to open those doors.
And it's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to put yourself out there, because that's the only way you're going to learn.
And I think we don't realize that, like, every person that we idolize, every person that we're looking to and going, oh, I wish it could be them, they had that scaffolding, they had that help all along their path.
People want to be around people that are getting things done, or making
people want to be around people who are like light. People want to be around people who love themselves. People want to be around people who know their own value.
You have to pour into yourself to take care of yourself.
Don't let anyone else dim your light. Like, you just get to shine, and let them. Being triggered is a gift.
You count on you. You get through it. You figure it out.
Don't underestimate the value of hard work. It is so, so important.
You keep working so hard that people can't help but notice. And
we're taught in school that, like, you need to be well-rounded. And then as we go into college, it's like, no, pick one thing to specialize in. But actually, as human beings, we love learning. We love being able to pursue all of our talents and abilities.
Keep going. Keep doing. Take your breaks, though, because you're needed. We're not robots here.
You are the one that you've been waiting for. No need to knock open the door. Take the leap and be the dream. Are you ready to get paid for your passion? It starts with knowing what you want and holding the vision of what's possible through every twist and turn life throws at you. With the inspiration of those who have gone before, you can bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. You will gain the confidence and muster the motivation to leap into the life of your dreams. It's time to become your next level self, reach your goals, and thrive doing what you love. Welcome to Be the Dream. Hey everyone, welcome back again to another episode of the Be the Dream podcast. Today I have such an incredible guest. She is an actress, a producer, and she's done just an incredible amount of things in her lifetime. I'm amazed at reading her bio and everything that she's done. Nicole Butler Vegas just literally blows me away with everything she's done. She was born and raised in Buffalo, New York, and enlisted in the U.S. Air Force when she graduated high school. She was assigned to the Air Force Security Forces, which enables her to become proficient in combat arms, self-defense, and law enforcement tactics. Her deployment to Saudi Arabia at Prince Sultan Air Force Base awarded her numerous Air Force medals and achievements. Upon completion of the Air Force, Nicole chose Las Vegas, Nevada as her permanent residence. Nicole has always had the drive to help others and make the community better, and so she's held the position of law enforcement officer in North Las Vegas and the United States postal worker in Las Vegas, Nevada. Her true passion actually is volunteering in the community and bringing people together. And what she's doing right now is starring in films and helping produce works that are bringing the community together in that way. And it's really incredible to watch her shine and grow and become just so incredible. So I'm really excited to share this interview with you. She's so inspiring with all the different ways that she uses her talents and her gifts. And I just know that you're going to adore this interview. So let's dive in. Introducing the Jumpstart Journal, where you can journal all about the 4 questions that will help you get motivated and change your life forever. If you are feeling like you are unmotivated, like you don't know where to go from here, like you're feeling really stuck, you need to pull out this journal. Go download it right now. The link is in the show notes. You can get this journal printed out. Start answering these questions for yourself. Answer these 4 questions and you will figure out why you're stuck, how to move through each of these 4 stages to get on the road to manifesting the life of your dreams. Let's do this. Hi, Nicole. I'm so thrilled to get to talk to you because you are such a hoot. You are such an inspiration. And I'm just in awe of everything that you are doing. You are an incredible actress, an amazing producer, and you are just living the dream. And so I think that everyone wants to know, what is it like to live this life? And how do you step into your power? How do you own the scariness of doing all the things that you dreamed of doing since you were a little kid?
I started 4 years ago, so I didn't dream of doing any of this stuff until like literally 4 years ago. This is my 4 year mark. And I wanted a platform because I do a lot of community connection. I do a lot of nonprofits. I love bringing the goodness to the community and the resources. So I stepped into showbiz 4 years ago this month, and I didn't realize all the do's and don'ts, the process or anything. It was I was walking into the unknown. And it took, I think, literally 4 years into it to understand the process. And it's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to put yourself out there because that's the only way you're going to learn. And it's very uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable, that process of growth, and trials and tribulations and not knowing. And I questioned a lot, as I was telling you before we came on. I didn't know if this was something for me. And I questioned, I was like, maybe this isn't for me. This is hard. And it is going to be hard. Anything you do that will be hopefully successful one day, if you keep going, is going to have a lot of setbacks and a lot of confusion at first. And you're going to cut away the more you grow into it. And it's very, very important to reach out to people that understand it. And don't hesitate to connect to people and be like, hey, how did you do this? Or what do I need to do? Or, how come you're doing so much more now? Because I put myself out there, not just in front of the camera, but behind the scenes, which is a lot more moving parts than just having to worry about yourself and your scene.
Right. Yeah, the community and having a mentor, like those things are incredibly important. And I think we don't realize that like every person that we idolize, every person that we're looking to and going, oh, I wish it could be them. They had that scaffolding, they had that help all along their path. They needed, that example ahead of them as well. And so we do it too.
Sometimes we don't get the help though. I didn't.
Yeah.
But I worked on enough bigger SAG sets to know that you need the proper paperwork, talent release forms, crew release forms. The marketing is very important. So who's going to market you? You have to market you. You put yourself out there. You connect to people that are going to support you in podcast talk shows, on group pages, and also step up in a lot of areas to learn different crew positions or what it takes and the talent people are seeking and looking for, because it's all different. It's a huge diversity of people that I think take what it is to form that team.
So let's talk for a second about the courage it takes to market yourself.
It's so, I went to this Days of the Dead recently in January. It was my third time putting a booth together, but there was a lot of new talent that had their own booth and they had their signings. And, not everybody's going to just go and pay for a signing of you if they don't know enough about you or you don't have enough work. But I did pay for everybody that was new, their signings, everything, because I gave them, some advice and also the encouragement of like, you showed up when so many people wouldn't because they were too afraid. So you have to go past your fears. You have to. And if you don't, how are you going to connect with other people that understand the value of what you're trying to do and your hard work and your effort as you do in your music?
Yeah.
And your other things that you now just shared with me with the makeup, which is very valuable. I'd like to kind of share about your teaching men and women how to apply the makeup, and you need that on set. Sometimes they're going to be so rushed that it's good to come hair and makeup ready. And if you could teach them certain skills and assets, they are that much further to not have to worry about it not getting done for them. So being self-sufficient is very important.
Yeah. So tell us more about how you got started in this. Why did you choose to dive into this when it wasn't something that you dreamed of for so long?
I love your questions. I went into it because I did a lot of nonprofits for, I'm going to say, the last 15 years out of the 21 years I've been in Las Vegas. And I wanted to build a platform to connect the community connection with people and resources and bringing people together. I just had no idea how much work it took to build that platform. Corey Thompson's my first film friend. I want to say thank you to him and Julie Goldman for getting me on a SAG set, which was I think it's called The Cleaning Lady. It was a pilot. It was the very first one. I think they're in season 3 now. I haven't followed up with it that much, but the more you put yourself out there, the more you can connect with other people. Now, if you stay, I think, in cliques and groups, how are you going to grow? It's almost like a fish in a bowl. You can grow as big as that bowl that you're putting yourself in. So you really, yes, those waters are uncharted, and you can get very tired because if you don't know what's going on, which I did the first two 2 years, 3 years, first 2 years, I didn't like it. I'm like, I don't like it because I didn't understand it. And I think I didn't realize stepping in how much work in many different areas it takes for you to get seen, recognized, valued, have credibility. But good hard work does pay off. So no cutting corners. Do not cut corners because if it will shortcome you in the end.
Yeah, to be successful in film, it really takes somebody who's multi-passionate and multi-talented and working hard and like
The
doing
hard
all
work.
the things.
Yeah, it has to be the hard work. I don't know. I don't have you have talent, with singing and other
Yeah.
I don't I don't have any of that, what a lot of people have, but the hard work though, I can step up and I will work so hard to be able to complete something. But I don't have the talents that a lot of people have possessed that I've seen. I'm like, wow, they can sing and music and they can memorize lines quickly and they have like different dialects and accents. I don't have any of that. It's all right. I have good hard work and I know I can step up long hours wherever it needs to get done in that area. I can get to acting coaches that can help put tools in my toolbox to understand the character development, the character history. If there is one, then you make one up. There's different table reads, just putting yourself out there and knowing in an independent film that like I'm doing right now with this Desert Beans, it needs a team. It needs people that are going to put in financially, that are going to step up on the crew area. It can't be like a lot of people are like, well, I just want to be casting. I said, well, then you're going to have to go on those casting networks or SAG sets because that's the only way most people will get paid are on those SAG sets, the multi-million-dollar ones. We're ultras low budget that we don't even make a low budget. It's that low. But we can get it done because we did get distribution through Gravitas Ventures, releasing Desert Fiends. That's the first film I put together this April 8th. So it can be done,
Amazing.
but there is hiccups in between. Just know,
Yeah.
even if you do everything right in your end, it doesn't matter because there's other people that might not on theirs and it will affect you. So when that comes to you, you're going to take a step back and you're going to reevaluate, but you're not going to stop. You're going to go through that thickness of what you're going through to make it through. I think too many people will panic and they just stop doing whatever they're doing. And they think that other people just have it easy and there's this clear path. There is no clear path to any kind of success in any kind of field in any area. None. It's you getting through what you have to get through. So what's that saying? Tough people laugh. Tough times don't last, but tough people do.
Yes. Don't underestimate the value of hard work. It is so, so important. So tell us a little bit about some of the projects that you've worked on recently and your latest one.
Okay. So the latest one I'm going to start with first, it's Desert Fiends 2, and I have it on the group page, Desert Fiends 2 group page, which is very important. It's on IMDb. You could check the cast we've been hiring because there's people that have the names that will help pull the movie for distribution, which is very important. Distribution looks for certain aspects. If you can't get distribution, I see a lot of people submitting to film festivals. And that's how they're able to get seen and hopefully the number one goal is for distribution. That's what you want in any kind of film. What did I do right before that? I was on Marriage Vice with Ashley Hartgrove. She had a micro SAG. She worked very hard, a lot of paperwork. I mean, she really worked extremely hard and she put her cast together with a team effort though. It always has to be a team. I worked on Alien Horde in LA. That's where I lost my tooth fell out when I'm driving and hopefully I'll get a tooth again. It's a process like everything.
Yeah.
Alien Horde is with Michael and Sonny Mahal, the Mahal brothers. They have put out 17 feature films.
Wow.
Kudos to them. And I want to also say thank you to Michael Mahal because he's the one who helped Sean C. Phillips and I go through the distribution along with Kevin Gregg. That's my husband. I just let you know, Kevin Gregg did the logistics of the product unit manager, I think it is. Unit product manager. Sorry, I'm backwards on that.
Yeah.
Because people have to some people are really good with the filing and the paperwork. Other people are good with the marketing. Other people are good with the creativity and the thought process of doing the script. Location managers, there's crafty transportation. There's a whole smorgasbord.
I love how that takes everybody's kind of like unique talents, everyone's unique superpowers, and puts them all together in this big bubble to create movie magic.
And but it's everybody. So for what you'll see the other people, mostly you'll see the talents because they're in the front of the screen, but you're not seeing all of the behind the scenes, like with Jeremy Settles. He has the Got Productions. He did the grip. You need all the lights and the sand.
Yeah.
I hate the
Mhm.
sandbags, though. Don't like sandbags. Very heavy. Because when you're doing these independent films as a main producer, how can I have somebody else do the job if I'm not willing to do it myself either? So the crafty picking it up and doing the locations lockdown and helping out with anything with grip assistance if they do need help with the sandbags or whatever they need help with the lighting, holding. There's the AD, that's assistant director, that does all the scheduling. There's people that put in the money to get the perks and stuff like that. That's the only way we ever get things done is by the Indiegogo and supporters. So 100% is the biggest shout out to the supporters, the perk players, the people that want to put in for associate or producer credit. It helps because that's how we're able to film it, hire some main talent, do what we have to do with the food, go to post production, get distribution, which was about 14K. Very
Wow.
expensive, yeah. And then we
Yeah.
did, a red carpet event, which was I think about 6 or 7 thousand. It's expensive.
Yeah.
And you got to put out a lot. You're not going to get it right away. You don't get anything right away. And then maybe people will start saying, hey, you're working hard. And then, you kind of take a step back and you're like, oh, thank you for noticing, because you're just trekking along so much that you don't have time to really think about anything of your own self. You're getting it out there because there's a bigger whole than just one puzzle. I'm a one piece of that whole of that puzzle, and it's
Yeah.
everybody else coming in and plugging in, because that's how it works for me anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me, what is the dream here? What is the goal? What do you long for?
I understand. At first, I didn't know. That's the thing. I had no idea. I'm like, people are asking me like that. I don't know. I'm just learning and I'm understanding the process. I think for me, the dream and the goal would be able to put out feature films that get distribution and have other people that are talents be able to get seen and recognized, and the music that goes behind it and everything as a whole, for everybody and everyone that's involved in these films to get recognized. The conventions, I'd like to get invited to these conventions with the talents that we have to connect to that fan base and the support that they do need. I think that full circle with the community connection, and be able to put spotlights on some nonprofits or people that need the resources. So when I'm out there enough, I can connect them, which I have, to the resources they need. Some people get lost or they get in a pinch, and I like to be able to kind of open the door. They have to do the work, though. I can't do all their work. Open that door, get to work, because it's work, and get yourself together with what you want also out of it. So I think as a whole, it's everybody sharing into that victory of completing a film.
Wonderful. Is it more of the actor side or more of the producer side that you like more?
Oh, acting's well, actually, it's hard. Acting's very hard for me because there's a lot of energy that goes in depending on that scene you have. A lot is pouring into that connection because you want the viewers to connect to that particular character role. Either they're sympathetic or they don't like the person, whatever it is, that feel and that energy is a lot to put out. But the production side, knowing that you care and you're passionate is very important. So I can't pick one or the other. I kind of like a little bit of everything. So I did stunts and I did talk shows before, and it's a little bit of everything. I don't want to just pick one. I feel like I
You want
feel
to do all the things.
like I got all of it, all of it.
Well, and I think that's what's so fun about film is that and I'm finding this is true of so many different areas, is that having, like being multi-passionate, having so many different talents and skills. And, we're taught in school that like you need to be well-rounded. And then as we go into college, it's like, no, pick one thing to specialize in. But actually, as human beings, we love learning. We love being able to pursue all of our talents and abilities. And within this world of film, I think you're discovering that, like, actually, you're good at a lot of things. You're good at directing people and helping in all your different capacities. And I think that's really incredible.
I appreciate you, and I just want to say thank you for having me on your show too, and circling
Yeah.
back around. I'm like, how long has it been? But we all have to fix and do what we have to do for ourselves, because we can't help other people if we can't even be on the track for ourselves. So I really feel like you have to pour into yourself to take care of yourself, because how are you supposed to take care of a whole team? Like up to 200 people. I think we had about 80 people per day. And it's a lot of work. And I was working full time, and I have a family, and it's the juggle. So usually how I do it is I stay home to replenish. I kind of have to just take a step back from everything else and be able to center myself again, because the work task can be daunting and it could be very exhausting because you're constantly talking, you're constantly marketing, and you're just pulling things together for that pre-production. And I want people to know that there's no easy way. Even when people do get there and they get known or successful, they still have other obstacles ahead of them. There's always something. Even if the set can be perfect in this aspect, there can be weather that's really bad, like the snow and wind. I'm like, what is this? Why is this happening? No control over it. So I think it's
Flexibility is so important.
there's a lot. I think, and I try to be as upfront as I possibly can. And there will be letdowns, and it'll be like, wow, that packed a heavy punch to you, your whole being, and you're like, I got to recover from this. And you're trying to figure out ways to recover. There's a lot of different ways to approach any obstacles. I know a lot of people get put in a hole, but do not dig yourself deeper in it. You could put yourself in there, or the situation could put yourself in there. What can you do to get out of it and then get back on track, but learn not to get into that hole again, like
Yeah,
it's a process.
do you have any favorite like tools or practices that help you like stay balanced or to get out of that when something goes wrong?
I usually have alone time if I can get it. It's hard when you have a household and everything to have that
Yeah.
alone time. There's really no such thing. And that's the thing. Some people have too much alone time. So that's why I encourage them to then volunteer, connect with people, do some nonprofits, connect to something that's fellow helpers, or learn different skills. Like I know you're having people sign up for your makeup class. It's very important to do your own makeup. Sometimes there's going to be too busy on set, especially like the micro budget ones. Come makeup, hair ready, and there's tools for singing. You're a performer, you have music that came out, you're an artist, and you didn't just get there by having it fall in your lap. There's no such thing. No one just gets there. And I know there's people that want handouts and ride on a coattail. I said, I didn't get a coattail. You are gonna have to you count on you. You get through it, you figure it out, and if you can't figure it on your own, then make a post. People are very helpful. Sometimes people need the outreach and outsource of other people. Now you have to be careful with some people. They're happy for you, but sometimes they don't get happy. It's a weird competition or sabotage or insecurities, and that has nothing to do with you. You're the closest thing to them feeling inaccurate, and it's them having to heal themselves. Has nothing to do with you.
That's so hard to remember that too. A lot of people really get caught up in that.
They do.
Yeah, but we have to remember that other people's feelings are theirs and they don't belong to us. And it's really easy to take on other people's emotions, but they don't belong to us. They belong to them.
Well, they try to put it on you, though. I've had a lot of people say, well, I feel very insecure. I feel less around you. I feel this. Say, well, then work harder, because obviously there's areas in your life that you have to work on to not have those feelings self-projected onto me. I don't deserve that. I had a hard enough time trying to get myself figured out than for people to pour and dump their emotions into me, because I'm the closest thing to making them feel like maybe they did less work or they're less in some way. Then go work. You're going to have to get out of that feeling.
Don't
work on yourself.
Don't let anyone else dim your light. Like, you just get to shine, and let them. Being triggered is a gift. So let them be triggered. Just let them. They get to learn in their own time how to deal with those triggers.
I don't let them. I'm like, listen here.
No, I mean, let them have their own emotions. Let them have their own feelings. It's not got to do with me. They can just live their own life.
But when they're messaging and they're pouring it into you.
Oh yeah, that's when you put up a barrier.
Yeah. Helps boundary. But I'm like, listen here. When I was up to 210, it took me about 2 years to lose 80 pounds. I didn't have anybody saying, here, Nicole, sometimes you have to be your own self-motivator. And there's not going to be a team. Eventually you'll get a team, because people want to be around people that are getting things done, or making
people want to be around people who are like light. People want to be around people who love themselves. People want to be around people who know their own value. It starts
be
from
an
the inside
asset.
out.
Yeah, be an asset though. Don't try to take away then from something that you're looking up to. So you're either insecure or you're inspired, and you got to find that line or cut away from it because there's too many people that distracted. That's like you're distracting me with work. You're gonna have to work on yourself. And anything in this showbiz, you're gonna have to put in endless hours, money, time, energy. There is endless of it. So I understand now the process, and you keep working so hard that people can't help but notice. And I told people that work so hard. I mean, in every angle possible. And there's going to be more doors that open up that are going to be unknown to you. And you're going to have to work to figure out what it is to know in that area. So keep going, keep doing, take your breaks though, because you're needed. We're not robots here. We have feelings and
Right.
yeah. So,
Oh, I love that. Keep working so hard that people can't help but notice. That's like a mic drop moment.
everywhere, put it everywhere and let them know that you're there to add value, not to take away, not to have it all about you. It is a team as a whole. And once people understand that, they work better together. All right, let's go. We have this to get going. Don't start focusing on things that in the head of the fears or being nervous on things. Those aren't going to help you. You have to be able to build yourself up so strong that good luck knocking this.
Yeah. Oh, I
Like,
love it. So
yes.
for somebody who's dreaming of being in films, of being on TV, what would you say is a good first step? How do you get started being in this world?
So I signed up through a casting director through a friend that I met through volunteering for this base exercise, like this chemical warfare thing. I started talking about Freaking Brothers Haunted Houses, and he loved it. And he's like, "Oh, you should sign up with Julie Goldman." So find a casting director, get involved with maybe short films, student films, independent films, because when you first start, you're going to be non-union. And eventually you're going to get your SAG vouchers or your Taft Hartleys, where if you get 3, you have to join SAG, even though they say they're not forcing you. It is, because then you can't work on another SAG set. So eventually you will cap out and you will be pushed. So there's forces that will close these doors and will push you in this direction that you don't understand you're going in, because you're like, why? What's happening? Why did this close? I'm very comfortable. That's why, because you're so comfortable there. It's another force of fate that's pushing you into something more, and you're not going to understand it at first. And then you're going to be like, okay, what's going on here? I am now, these circumstances close this, and I am pushed to an unknown area that I have to grow.
More growth, more becoming, more change.
I was like, oh, this growth is so uncomfortable. I don't like it. However, it's a necessity. It is necessary to be able to evolve, to adapt, to have awareness. If you don't have awareness, how are you supposed to be able to grow into these platforms that are there for you? You just have to take the initiative.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's amazing. So tell us more about how we can find you and follow you and all the places we can watch you.
Much. So it's Nicole Butler Vegas on Facebook and on Instagram. Nicole Butler as a producer, Nicole Vegas as talent. That's my professional name. I know it's really hard now. I got married into this showbiz, it seems like. There's a lot. I do more on Facebook than I do on Instagram. Instagram gave me some weird problems, so I don't trust it as much. So Facebook to me has been a great outlet to connect, as I got to connect with you too on the I think some podcast group, which is pretty cool. So I just want to say thank you. And as much as we can have awareness, connection, it's really that workload. Take on that workload. And if something doesn't seem right, do address it. Good communication is very important. So there's some things you feel, you're like, is it just me today? And if you're still feeling it, there's something, don't ignore your intuitions. And also
Oh,
there'll be like
yeah.
some strangers too. They come up to you and they'll say something. Pay attention to what they're saying, like out of the blue, almost like these guides, like people say stuff like out of the blue a lot. I'm like, what is going on here? Listen to
Yeah.
what's going on. Pay attention to your environment, and also the awareness of what people are saying to you that don't know you. It's like a passing of like I don't know.
Like wisdom to
Yeah,
just
something.
come.
There's something going on. Yeah, it's real.
Yeah, I always feel like when God's trying to send me a message, like it'll just come in sometimes unexpected ways. Like just
Informed
every
sometimes.
little thing that I'm listening to will just like, oh, that's exactly what I needed, just out of the blue. Huh. Wow. Amazing.
That is pretty cool stuff. It's just paying attention. Like people would just say something like, "Oh, are you going to be on that stage?" I go, "No, I'm just in an audience." But I got to be on Penn and Teller. They did pick me. I was in the nosebleed.
Amazing.
But it was a weird when I was walking to the set. I just thought I was going to be in the audience, but random people were like, "You should be on this stage." I'm like, "Yeah, well, I'm dressed for it," but like weird things coming out. So pay
I
attention.
love Penn and Teller. How cool.
It was no, I did okay on that act. They made me do more than I was supposed to do. I could not hear what he was saying, but Brooke Burke was beautiful and gracious, and she's like repeating, and then Penn's like, Nicole, or no, Brooke, you do know you're translating English to English. I was like, I can't hear what's going on this stage. So it's a live show, and just go slowly. You don't have to rush. I'm always into the rush of things. So he's like, put the key in, but don't. I already unlocked it. I was like, oh no, I'm ruining this show. And then people thought I was planted. I was like, if I was planted, I would not have rushed to unlock it. There's a lot of opportunity. So I said, yeah, with your talent and your beauty and your charisma and your etiquette, really look into the casting in your area. You already have what it is. So it's just going into another area to open up opportunities and connect to people that you normally wouldn't, because sometimes your music goes hand in hand with showbiz and feature or whatever commercials more.
Yeah. And I feel like one of the things you're saying is like we open our own doors for ourselves. Like we have to take the action to open those doors. Like we if we just sit around, they're not just gonna like fly open. You have to go take the action and do it.
And I want to see so many posts. I'm like, wow, I'm seeing you everywhere. Post everywhere. Share your links, your music, everything that you have going on with being a makeup teacher, all of it, and then share it. And then also connect to, like I said, the casting in your area. Find out, because the commercials help. Huge commercials. I don't have that. I can't. Even if I try to have something, I just know that is not my area. That is your area. The music, the talent, the singing. You got it already for that.
Fun.
So you just have to connect to the movies and for the filmmaking, everybody needs music in that background all the time. In the commercials. Imagine how boring it'd be if we didn't have that music.
I know. And it's in so many places where we don't realize it. There's music just everywhere. Brings the emotion in all of the film. Oh, I feel like we could talk forever. This has been amazing.
I know. You're like, it's 30 minutes, Nicole. I know. Sorry.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much. And whenever it's ready, just let me know and I'll share it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Be the Dream podcast. In the show notes, you're going to find links to be a guest on the show, the free Jumpstart Journal, and a place to book your free idea analysis session where I spend 15 minutes one-on-one with you breaking down your business idea and helping you go from inspiration to action plan. Don't forget to share this episode with a friend and let them know that you're thinking about them. Let's share inspiration with as many people as we can. We could all use a little more motivation. See you next time, and until then, remember to be the dream.